Hello, my name is Bonnie WK, and I'm here to talk to you about an experience that I had in 1988 where I left this level of existence and journeyed to the other side without having to die to get there or come close to dying to get there. I have people who don't understand why it happened to me, and I will tell you that I believe truly that it happened to me because I had agreed to be the conveyor of this information before I ever came to this planet. I have had many varied experiences because I'm supposed to be able to relate to other people on the planet as they go through life and begin to understand themselves. There is no person on the planet who is not completely and totally 100% loved by Creator. And it makes no difference what name you call Him, what religion you're in, what color your skin is, what area of the world you were born and raised in, whether you speak English and somebody's having to translate this. It makes no difference. 100% of the people who have been on this planet before, are here now, will be here in the future, are all loved 100% by Creator. And this comes from somebody who in college, I was the person who would have all of the people coming to the dorm room who were the Kids for Christ, and they were seeking to convert people or to interest people in their church. I would get them all in my room at the end of the day, and we would have discussions, and they simply couldn't dissuade me. And I probably came closer to convincing them that they had a very weak argument for whether or not there was a God. And I have since dramatically changed my opinion. I believe that there is not only a God out there, but that He knows absolutely what He's doing. I no longer believe He looks like you and me. I don't certainly believe anymore that He is an old man in the clouds with a beard, like has been depicted in the movies. He's far more magnificent and magnanimous than that. When I had my experience, I was allowed to journey probably about 9 levels higher vibrationally than this. It's hard to explain in such a short time, but the activity of my journey to the other side was certainly a life-changing experience for me. However, when I woke up the next morning, I simply proceeded to write down my experience. I didn't really understand it because many of the things that I had seen and heard and witnessed and been shown made no sense to me. And they were things that wouldn't make sense to me for years in some cases. I was in many ways not prepared for the enormity of the information that I received. It was wonderful, but it was certainly different. I spent 5 years trying to convince God that I didn't want to be here. I wanted to be on the other side. This is a very, very difficult place to handle when you have been to the other side and you know how great it is, how wonderful it is. Anyone who's looking at this, who's had a near-death experience, can relate to the fact that I can't even describe the colors that I saw. They don't exist here. And you would think that with a whole spectrum of colors, it would be easy, and it's not. There is, on the highest level that I went to, I saw beings, spiritual beings, and they were standing in a huge crowd in front of me, and they were looking at me as I arrived, so they were expecting me. And the interesting thing was that I could see the last one way back, 50 people back behind the person in front, as clearly from head to toe as I could see the person in the front. And they were joyous to behold. It was, I want to be there, let's put it that way. And I saw screens, kind of like the screens that they used to use to film cartoons. They used to have a, I don't remember the name of the camera, but it used to be like 24 layers of glass, and they would paint the different items on the glass, and then they would photograph it through the glass and move the panes of glass. And I saw between 4 and 14 levels of screens in front of me. All of them appeared solid, but I could see the 14th one back as clearly as I could see the first one. Again, they all appeared solid, but they were suspended in the air, nothing holding them up. And I was given information. It was like there were snippets of every piece of film ever made on the planet. They were all cut up in very short pieces, thrown together in a pile, and arbitrarily taken out and put on these screens. And I was standing there looking at these screens going mentally, and I didn't say this out loud, but I only got half of it said in my head before I got my answer. And I was saying, I don't understand how all of these things are tied together. And I didn't even get the second half of that out, and it was like this enormous door opened in my head or in my person, and all of the information that I sought about everything pretty much was dumped in. It was like an instantaneous download. The answers to my questions about justice were there. My answers about how everything that I had just seen on the screens I thought was disconnected, how it all was totally connected. I saw all of this. I understand how the movement, whether accidental or on purpose, of one grain of sand on this planet affects the entire universe. And it's something that changes the energy about everything. Everything is always in change, always in motion, whether it is sitting and looks like a rock, or whether it is you and you're walking to the post office. Everything is in motion. Everything works perfectly just the way it was designed. It is the most beautifully laid out master plan that you did. Scientists, I don't care how advanced they are on this planet, the amount of information they have about how the universe works and how it's interacting with everything and how the galaxy was formed, all of these things, they're all minuscule. The sum total of all of their information is less than a thimbleful. Not thimble, thimble. It's just microscopic. And not only that, but I noticed in high school that they had information, and the next time I picked up a science book, they had changed that information. So science is always changing. If they would just say that this is what we know now, instead of saying this is an absolute, then they could put themselves in a better position, because some of the information I have affects some of the things that they do. So, and no. But it's all wonderful. It's all good. There's nothing to be afraid of. Please, please, seek out more information. Seek out truth. Go find my video, Protect Yourself Against Negativity. Create that situation and then go find truth, because you'll know how to identify it. It's a good thing. Have a great day. Enjoy.